guys want to get started?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like the energy over there.
Yeah.
So I'm doing an opinion piece. If you want to disagree with me, please do so. Or if you think something needs to be added, speak up. I was joking that I'm going to give shots out if you interact, but I didn't bring any alcohol, so.
I want to disagree. I don't know if I have a basis for it yet. I want to.
I owe you a shot then.
Oh, she's going to shoot me.
No, gosh, no. Not after this last weekend. That's pretty sad. Okay, so maybe you've heard of this thing called data science. And they're like saying that they need people with analytical skills. Has anyone noticed that happening in the workplace? Like a shortage of data scientists? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, yeah! So the McKinsey report in 2011 predicted it, and it's almost like it's happening right now. In 2019, we still have a shortage. So has data science really taken off?
It's taxing.
I think there's a lot of people that are doing things. I don't think there's necessarily a lot of projects that are coming to fruition.
And I don't think it's anywhere near what it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's kind of like hanging out at neural nets and stuff, but we're not really like getting recursive learning, not getting too much further.
It's getting there, it's taxing.
I feel like the entire thing is just really overwhelming for people, even data scientists who are really fluent in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of overwhelming to figure out where to start. I mean, where to even wrangle data, where to get it audited, going through all the sort of human errors and entry of data. So like that part alone is just overwhelming. In China, they hire hundreds of thousands of people just to fix data. So it's like,
To go in and like clean and fix the missing data points and.
Baidu has like 60,000 people that do that, like just that.
Well, I don't want to be a data entry person. I kind of like what I'm doing, but.
Yeah.
It kind of took off around like 2011, 2012, because we had hardware like GPU and CPU coming available, data sets on Kaggle. I'm talking like, 8 years ago, Kaggle and stuff was really becoming available. Back then, algorithms were advancing, and all of these things happened, and the really big thing that I think pushed it into the public's eye was ImageNet. Does anyone know what ImageNet was? It was like a really big competition. And 2011, 2012, we're seeing 80% accuracy max. And in 2015, a CNN outperformed a human. And that's kind of when the script flipped. Everyone was like, whoa, data science, what's that thing?
So how do you determine that it outperformed a human? Do you go back and rescore the disagreements?
I'm guessing they probably had multiple humans looking at the images. And if a human made an error.
Yeah, they just had dozens of people that would just calculate the accuracy rate of them, and then but it was like 95% or something with humans, so it was a thin margin to beat.
But it jumped over 10% in a year or so, or 3 years, excuse me.
Yeah, and even now I think it's near 99, 98.5 or somewhere in there. It's pretty incredible.
So who here uses data to make decisions? There's a few people that say they don't, so I don't know. No, you don't use data at all?
We get some decisions. We're randomize what we do.
I do that sometimes, random number generator. Okay, I do that.
Should I go to this meeting? Well,
If it's over 5, you go, and if it's under 5, you don't go from the random number generator. So, I mean, it's kind of everywhere between your phone doing facial recognition, Facebook, and fraud detection. I mean, everyone's used a search engine. Everyone's purchased things online. Everyone talks to Siri or Cortana, maps, GPS. And so you can't really get away from it. Now here's my big thing is the buzzwords in data science, because I've seen people post opinion pieces on LinkedIn, AI is definitely, has this relationship with machine learning, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, we come into contact with all of these words in this cloud, right? Pretty regularly?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just do a basic Google search of artificial intelligence, it's an automation of a task. So, a computer putting together a car at Ford, that's AI. But is that your definition of AI?
No.
But according to the automation of a task that a human previously performed, putting a car together, fits that, maybe. How about passing the Turing test?
Well, that's a definition.
But no one would say that the car being put together at Ford was going to pass it. So, and I mean, everyone knows 1 + 1 is equal to 2. That's definitely a task that a human used to do that a computer does. It's a calculator. So is that calculator AI?
Shouldn't one make heuristics that humans have? If the machines can think, then it's according to the heuristics.
So you're saying that it's more complex.
Yeah.
But I'm pulling these definitions off the internet, and they're saying it's more simplistic. And so it's not always very super clear what AI means, at least, and that's like a common word associated with data science. Now there's machine learning, and automation of model building. I talk to someone, they tell me regression, that is definitely ML. I'm like, but you had 30 data points, and I don't know, I don't think that's ML. No? Someone even said that it's a field of AI. So inside of AI, there is ML. Or maybe it's the science of getting computers to act without being explicitly programmed in a certain way. And statistics is like that old school word that you guys use nowadays. It's like, that's not cool anymore. Everyone wants to be a data scientist, not a statistician. And it's a bunch of things with p-values. When you have a lot of data points, p-values don't mean anything. It's a lot of that wrangling stuff that data scientists do. Then there's deep learning. Some people say you have to have so many layers of neural nets for it to be deep learning. Some people say, hey, you got one dense layer, that's deep learning. Anything with more than 2 hidden layers. Or maybe it's just automated feature engineering. So not even worrying about the model part, just, hey, we took care of the features that go into the model. Don't have to worry about it. And then the cornucopia of wonderful graphs that are out there. And they don't exactly agree with one another all the time. I mean, deep learning inside of neural nets, inside of machine learning. So all deep learning is a neural net? I don't know. Does anyone maybe disagree with that image? All machine learning is AI, and all deep learning is AI. But data science isn't always all of that. I mean, but this one over here, it's kind of similar. And then AI, ML, and deep learning kind of has some overlap, but they're... So anyway, what I'm saying is when you go down the internet, you Google search data science, and you Google search all of these keywords, it's not always clear what they mean. This one down here says the methods by the year that they were created. That's what they're categorized. So AI, so neural nets AI according to this image, because neural nets came out in the 50s, right? Machine learning is anything between the 80s and 2006. And then anything post-2006 is deep learning. So it's, and this is what happens when you go out and you Google search data science. And so I think a lot of the problem that we run into in our field is there's all these sales terms, and they don't really have too much meaning for you or I. But there is one thing for certain that I noticed throughout all the images. Everyone likes circles. Lots and lots of circles. And I kept hearing unicorn, so everyone wants to be a unicorn. The magical place between computer science, math, and an SME, subject
You sure
matter
you didn't
expert.
mishear that? Was it Unicron?
says unicorn, so. But, so, you know, why are we having such difficulty with buzzwords, statistics, ML, AI? What is going on? Does anyone, you know, have opinions about why we're having such difficulty?
It takes a long time to define words. Think of the words we have really solid definitions for. We've been working at that for centuries.
And data science has been what, 20 years maybe?
The internet is full of stupid people.
That was probably your
I think also use them interchangeably, I mean, the methods from different fields, so we kind of don't know the borders too much.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, the way data science addresses certain words is different than the way a statistician addresses them, is different than the way the mathematician uses them. Not everyone comes out with a book, and all those definitions in those books conflict with one another, and we're just starting to have data science degrees. So I don't know if anyone remembers when computer science degrees started to come out, I don't know how many decades ago. Might have been a little confusing time for jargon back then too. So, data science is new. The words, tools, approaches, methods come out daily. We haven't really jumped. We might be going into an AI winter, no one panic. Who knows? But just data science is creative. It's not just a solid, you know, this is data, here it is. It's kind of an art. Your feature engineering is different than my feature engineering. The way you approach it is you use some of these methods that you're comfortable with, and I use some of these methods over here. And by collaborating, that's how we advance. So my personal opinion is leave all of these big meta words to sales and just say what you're doing. Regression, neural net, random forest, boosted tree. And if you want to call it ML, go for it. If you don't, that's fine too. And so, yeah, there's some cool, up-to-date things. My favorite is Sarah. Has anyone seen him do data science videos? They're really great. He's like meme king of data science. It's hilarious. So, and as always, I'm from zData, so we're all about GCP, Google Cloud products. So, anybody have questions or more opinions?
I also had Lex Friedman too, he's pretty good. He's the MIT professor.
I think I've watched some of his videos.
Yeah, he just started doing a podcast after he was on like Joe Rogan.
Oh,
He
wow.
decided to go off on his own, and he's just had like stellar interviews. He's with the CTO of Microsoft and like all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Thanks very much.
Okay, well then, if anyone doesn't have any more opinions, I'm gonna hand it off to the snowflakes guys.